Hey guys, I'm Zoe Simone bringing you the best in Atlanta music for Comcast Bands on Demand. Coming up next, we have an interview with Atlanta R&B singer Anthony David. So you're originally from Savannah.
Yep.
How old were you when you came to Atlanta, and what did you do back then to make ends meet?
I was probably 21 or something like that when I came here, and I was a sound and lighting tech. I worked for a bunch of audiovisual companies and hotels, all that kind of thing. Forever's a mighty long time. I really want to spend it with you, you know what? Yeah, I shine when you shine, and there's really no substitute.
So were there any artists or clubs back then that influenced you in your early days at all?
I found a few poetry spots, I got into that, but then there was another club called the Yin Yang. During the 5 or 6 years that place was open, I went from not playing at all to like I played a show there. So that was my whole grow-up period is right there.
So how have you heard your music described?
The latest one I heard that I like is Masculine Soul, which I like. This guy said that guys wouldn't mind, they could relate to, and ladies could snuggle up to. How she's rocking it, then check out how she's dropping it, then beat the way she's popping it, and I don't just stand there watching it.
So you've just come out with your newest record, As Above, So Below. So what are you most excited about this new record?
I'm expanding on what I do, making more statements, but also that this is the best place I could be and the best crew of people I could be with doing it. And get in her groove. Don't be afraid.
So you tackle all different kinds of different subject matter on this newest album, everything from religion to infidelity. Is it hard to be that bold and that honest on your album? Have you always been like that as a newer thing?
I've pretty much always been like that. I feel like, you know, the artists I really like, that's what they give me. It's all about the human experience to me, or the human condition.
What made you choose the title, As Above, So Below?
I was reading a lot and I ran across this phrase, and in terms of spirituality, those are things I tend to want to find, and that one was like a nice equation that made a lot of sense. You know, I found out what it was, and it seemed very inclusive since it was before many of today's religions. It kind of gives you that spiritual feeling that I don't think is exclusive. You know, I feel like this is for everyone.
I like the Leonardo da Vinci.
Yeah,
what's the
Vitruvian Man.
Vitruvian Man. I couldn't remember what it was. Vitruvian Man.
And that's it too.
Very clever, very stylish.
Thank you, man. Jay Gilman is a kind of art director for every cover that I've ever done. And when I was trying to describe to him like the songs I was writing and what I wanted to convey, I was sending him a bunch of stuff and just pictures, and I sent him that too. And I didn't really know what it was. I just remember I was like, oh yeah, that. And like, you know, and he goes, yeah, the Vitruvian Man. I was like, what? And he was like, yeah. And then he goes, like, you have the golden rectangle in it. I was like, what? And then he was like describing it, but that's kind of it too. Like the concept of that golden rectangle, the aesthetics that are in art that like somehow work, like that's also in music. And so that's also how we touch people with the magic that we make. Mr. Stanley, he's the man, he's got it figured out. He and his family got it planned, they'll never be without. Success for me, one, there's a bunch of levels of it, but ultimately really, it's just everything that most people go and work 8-hour jobs for, you know, to have those same things, you know, healthcare and house and home and travel, but I you know, to be able to do this, to have those things, and I do it, you know, my way. That's success. To be able to do whatever it is, you know, obviously you got to eat, but when you can do it, you know, your way, and that's winning. So you can't put the blame on me. I'm doing what God said. What God said. What God said. What you
has Atlanta changed for you over the years, and do you still feel like you're a part of the everyday music scene here? Is it still special to play?
Yeah, it's different now. There's not as many venues. There's new ones popping up, and since I'm doing other things, I'm not always aware of what's the new thing. But I definitely try to stay aware of who's coming out, and you know what I mean. It's still a very healthy scene compared to many others. You know, and that's one thing. Go to other cities, and people, we can't take it for granted. We have a good scene. You know, it could be better, but we have a very good scene, and we still have good people to come and to support. You know, anybody that will pay and come see you without you being on the radio, and so we can't take that for granted.
What God said.